All right, so I'm excited to have you on. Welcome to the show. So I wanted our viewers to learn more about you, Doreen, and all the excitement you've had happening, I think since May. It's been a few months. You've had a lot of amazing things happening. And so I want them to first get to know you and tell them who is Doreen. They've never met you before. And then tell me a little bit about what it's been like being a best-selling author this year.
Well, Doreen is Doreen loves people.
Mm,
I am I am I love to help people to live a healthy and better life. So that's where my passion lies, is to be a contributor to the world, where I can help the world to eat better, to be better parents, to be better human beings, to be honest. I think that's my life passion, is to be a better human being, and also to help the ones that I meet along the way, to for them to also be a better human beings, which includes my children, my grandchildren, my friends and family. I I'm very caring. I am I'm very compassionate about the things that I enjoy doing. Especially with my family. I love my family a lot. So everybody that knows me know that my family is definitely my heart.
family's heart. But
Um,
that's a beautiful thing, I think, being this is who you being who you are and really thinking. And I remember reading somewhere you were like, I'm a traveler. I love when you said that, that you go places. There are places you still want to go to. And so I think when I hear you talk about yourself, it's the who you are, but
mhm,
also who you becoming and who Doreen is becoming, right? And I think we all go through seasons and
mhm,
chapters in life where it's like, this was me, this is me, and then looking now in terms of what you're accomplishing. Before we get into the book, right? Because we all
mhm.
grown, even though we may not say the number in terms of age. What would you want to say to your younger self now, being who you are in the world? What would you say that? What would you say to her, that younger Doreen back then?
I would give the advice to the younger Doreen to stay rooted in in knowing who you are,
Mm,
and also to never forget the spiritual part of you. That God will never leave or forsake you, so the courage that brings, it's like to be like a lion,
mhm,
just go and get the things that God has for you, because there's so much abundance
mhm,
that sometimes, we live in such lack. And I think that's where the younger Doreen was, in the lack, So I would say, well, there's abundance there. God is in each of us. When you see me, you see God. I'm representing him,
mhm,
which means that I shouldn't be shy. I shouldn't be, timid. I should have the courage, And, I think of Moses, and how when he passed away, he was still strong and healthy, So the younger Doreen would also be to take care of yourself, do your self-care. Um, don't 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 think that everybody is more important than you are, you know. Even though it's important to take care of others, which is what I always do. I take care of everybody else. But I've learned throughout the years that I have to take care of me too, because if I'm not working well, nothing is working in my life. So that's where, and also the gratitude, to bring that practice of gratitude into my life every day. Because the younger Doreen probably would complain about this and that, and this is not working and that's not working. But, just to see that there's so much to be grateful for, even when things are not working out.
Yeah,
You
that's
know,
a
not to
mental
get
practice.
discouraged.
They go together, having that spiritual practice, having a gratitude practice. And also, I think that the other one, don't forget our twins. Do you remember the twin to gratitude?
Oh, yes, yes, yes. Which is
So,
joy,
yes.
to have joy in your life. Yes.
So that's a great one in terms of both younger and now more than ever, because I do think as people are aging or as we are growing, I like to say, versus getting older, sometimes we let go of a lot of things, of that joy, of
Hmm.
the hope of who you can become. Because sometimes we keep saying when we grow up, and you reach an age and you're like, okay, I think we reached it. We done. And you talk a lot about dreaming in our past conversations about be where you are right now. What is it like to allow yourself to dream again? That there are things you still want to do.
Hmm.
Um,
Okay. So, wow, we should never stop dreaming, right? Because because when we dream, when I'm dreaming, there's possibilities in life, you know? There is opportunities that I probably wouldn't do or actions I wouldn't take. The sky's the limit, right? Because one of my mentors and spiritual father used to always say that your imagination is the greatest nation.
hmm,
And when you stop dreaming, your imagination is not even activated, you know? And that's why it's good to get a really good book to read because you could actually go around the world in that book. And the same thing with dreaming. You know, when you start to dream, you start to, what I found out when I started dreaming again was there's a lot of things that I said I wanted to do and had passion to do. But then for some reason it just pattered down, you know? It's like somebody just patting down, mud into a ground. And then all of a sudden it's not important anymore. 'Cause it's like I forgot that I had that desire, you know? And when you start to dream, you start to wake up all the things that God had for you that you forgot about, especially as you said, when we get older, we stop dreaming. We settle, you know. Oh, it's not gonna work out anyway. I'm too old. Um, you have all the limitations and all the brakes on, right? But once you start to dream, you could get back on the bike and you could start to pedal. And even though you have the brakes that you can stop it, there's times that you want that brake off so you could go faster, right? So that's where we are right now with the dream. And I think especially now, this is such a very, very interesting time that we're in. It's one of the times that will never come back.
hmm.
There's new technology that's coming in, AI. I am one of the recipients of knowing what it's like not to have a computer
Mm,
and computers coming in. I know what it is not to have bottled water.
mm,
And when it was coming in, it was like, who would want to buy bottled water, right? So now we have this AI coming in, right? There was a cell phone, there was GPS. There's so many innovations that came in, but now things are changing. We're going to smaller that can do more, right? So we have to do more also, which means our dreams have to be there. And or if we're going to miss it, you're going to miss all that's there and that we could take advantage of at this moment.
yeah. And you still evolving, right? And I think again, people think there's a time where it's like, okay, I'm just gonna stop and just kind of go along with life. And so one of the biggest thing I would say, so many things you've accomplished. Where are we now? It's about, halfway through the year, and you're already a best-selling author. On top of that, you are an entrepreneur. So you work in the, if you want to tell our viewers, but the book that you had a chance to write about. And I think a lot of the things that's beautiful whenever wherever you are in life, the ability to share your story or share a story, an experience you've been through. And now this will live on forever because your beautiful chapter has been published in an anthology. And so do tell us what is that chapter about? And now months later of being a bestseller, first time author, you're speaking, you're sharing your message and your story. So tell us, what is that chapter about and what inspired you to say, you know what, this is the piece of my life I'm going to share with the world?
Yeah. Um, my chapter is about it's about my life, really. It's about something that happened in my life. And I wanted to share because I know a lot of people go through things and they don't talk about it. It's like we go through it silently,
Mm,
even though the other person is listening to what you're saying, they don't fully understand. And life has a way that there's multiple things going on at the same time. So you're going through one thing and things are actually happening at the same time. So while all of these things are colliding, you have a choice. You could actually collide with it or you could actually activate your faith,
mm,
right? And this is where what I wanted to share is the hope that in 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 so many different situations you could bring into your life. And that hope is what could sustain you. And when you look back, you say, "Oh my goodness, it was God all the time taking me through." And that's what I wanted to share, that, don't feel that you have to give up or things are not going to work out. And what I learned also is I'm actually sharing what I learned. What I learned is that God wants us to take steps, to be in action, not lay down and say, "Oh, poor me, I give up."
mm,
You know, things are just happening around me. You know, there's actions that we have to take. And as we take one action, he actually instructs us how to do the next action. And then before you know it, you're walking with him without even knowing it, you know? Because, you're going through grief, you're going through all different kinds of things. And you're like, how did I know to do all of this stuff? I can't say it was me, you know. I could say that God actually guided me through the whole incident. It was a situation where my family needed me. I was blessed because I was at the time a stay-at-home mom, with my two children. And even though I wasn't feeling good at the time, God had a work for me to do.
mm,
And the work was, my family, what my family needed. So so I was able to rise up in that moment, as they said, rise up in the moment and just do what you had to do. And even though I wasn't feeling good, all of that feeling, not feeling good went away. And I was able to follow the steps, you
yeah.
know, pray, fast, follow the steps.
Day
And
by
and
day.
we
That's a day by
and we
day.
made it through. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm grateful that you share that story because again, so many things happen and so many things stay secret where people still deal with them. And so again, we're always looking back where it's like in hindsight, this is how it goes. And so I want people to be able to get the book, read the chapter. So you didn't give us any clues because it is a great chapter. So there's so many twists and turns, right? Remember the first time I heard it, I'm like, this is a movie. You better call Tyler Perry or somebody, right? I was like, there are so many characters sometimes when I had to go back and be like, who is this woman in here causing so much chaos? And then I'm like, who's these other one? They have accomplices in there as well. And so a lot of the time people are going through all that by themselves, right? And so now as you look forward, you're looking ahead because once you have hope, you're not going to stay in the mud, I would say. So
Right.
as you're looking ahead for Doreen, so what would you say is next for you? I already know there's so many things in the works. So as you're looking ahead, what are you wishing and hoping, not just hoping, who is doing continuing to be, but what is the next thing that you know for a fact that you intentionally going to make happen in the next chapter of your life?
Well, my next chapter is to continue to help people to live a healthy life. That is one of my big things. Even myself, I am actually talking to the choir,
Oh, you're talking to yourself. That's a
talking
lesson.
to myself, so things that I've learned so much during the years that I would like to give it back. Also, I would like to write some more books. One of the books that I would really like, my mom passed away in 2021, and she was a writer. She used to always say she's going to publish a book. So I have a lot of her writing. So I would like to also put that in a book form. And and I also have my own stories that I would like to write. So I am now seeing that if I could write one chapter, I could write the book. So I am so grateful that I am in this space of growth. I also am looking to travel more. One of the places that I would like to travel everywhere where my DNA say I
Ah,
am.
everywhere. Like the whole world. We're gonna go in a world.
Yes, I am a mix of everything. So I would love to just do
Yeah.
my little.
But first, we're gonna do the motherland. The motherland is on the list.
Oh yes,
This is
that
what
is that is where the biggest part of my DNA came from.
back to the motherland, and of course the islands are in your blood, and so I think that's a beautiful thing, and to be able to share that message. The
Hmm.
book is literally what, the chapter will get you that, and then the next book, and then the next book. So I'm excited for you, but where can people get your book? Where can we go and say click, we want to get that copy so we can read the chapter?
Okay, I'm going to leave a link
Okay.
below, and you could always reach out to me. I am, those of you who know me, or you could just send me a Facebook, note, and I can get it to you.
And reach out.
But if you click the link, and I'll send it to you, a signed copy.
Get a signed copy. So I know you're available to do book signing, to share the book, to speak, to be on panels, and share that message of health with everyone, right? Because with all the dreams you talk about, if you don't have your health, if you're not in good health, if your mind is not right, I know you love talking about the mind and making sure that's our well-being is intact. And that's my passion as well, in terms of really making sure prioritizing Doreen in this stage. That's the other piece. A lot of time, the people who are the caregivers who are taking care of the world
Right.
usually are not practicing the same for yourself. So if you want to keep caring for those people, you have to prioritize yourself. You have to be
Absolutely.
first, right? Put yourself from last to first, which is the priority now. And for all the beautiful things you want to create and become, it literally starts with your mind and your health. If you don't have those things, it's going to be short lived. And we want that dream to continue and more dream for you to say you want to have more dreams. So I'm
Mm.
grateful. Thank you for being on today. Your final words for
And also, you need to have gratitude and joy in your life, right?
those twins
Because
we were talking
because that
about.
makes life very, very that you could wake up every morning and just enjoy each day. So joy and gratitude is very important to put into your days.
I love that. So we're gonna practice both. And I love how you be like, joy is here. So joy can be here every single day. You'll
Every
live.
day.
So thank you for that beautiful message and reminder.